Welcome back to No Wets TV here at Wrightune. Today is all about the M96 engine in the back of these lovely Porsche 996s. We're basically doing a health check on a high mileage engine. So Chris, this has done 140,000 miles.
Yeah, she's done a bit of work.
You recently said to me you should probably prepare for a rebuild at some point.
Yeah, well, it's done quite a lot of miles now, hasn't it? So you would be thinking that things are going to get worn. There's certain ways of doing that. There's things that we can check without removing the engine and strip it a million pieces. So we suggested today we bring it in and have a look at those.
Joe's going to get stuck in, and I suppose, yeah, acid test, we're going to find out just how healthy or otherwise this car is, really as a bastion of high mileage 911. So let's see how we get on.
Sure, yeah, let's see how we go.
The M96 engine in the Porsche 996 has often been maligned for its reliability issues. So what can you expect if you get into or inherit such a car with senior miles on the clock? As you'll have seen on this channel, my 996.1 Carrera has been used as intended in the 4 years and 60,000 miles under my ownership. I've done multiple UK and European road trips, track days, hill climbs, autobahn runs, plus a fair bit of daily driving in this car, so it's been pushed hard. I have, however, changed my oil regularly and serviced the car annually on the button according to the service schedule. Nothing lasts forever though, so should I expect signs of inevitable end of life, or is this supposed chocolate engine good for a few more years of solid hard graft? First step was to drop the oil so we can inspect the oil, filter and housing and assess if any parts of the engine's insides are breaking up, which obviously wouldn't point to good news. No bits of metal in the housing is a good sign, but cutting up the filter will dive a little bit deeper.
I mean, the engine at this sort of mileage, I mean, I always expect to see, something in there, things like that is fairly common. But it's just sort of like little bits of things from the oil or carbon that's been washed off after you change the oil, things like that. I mean, that's nothing to really worry about. It's big chunks of plastic and aluminium that you're worried about. But there you go, there's a piece of aluminium. But even that, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, the mileage it's done, that wouldn't really worry me that much. I mean, it's when it's full of, there's a little bit more there. So there's a little bit of wear going on.
Yeah, okay.
But considering how many miles it's done now you drive it, it's actually really quite good. I mean, there's two pieces of very small bits of aluminium.
Using a magnet can help determine whether the metal is steel or aluminium, which will give you an idea of where exactly that wear is occurring. Step 2 is a bore scope, where you pull out a spark plug and insert a camera to check the condition of the top of the piston, the cylinder walls and engine valves, which you otherwise wouldn't be able to see without complete disassembly. This is the beating heart of the engine, so it's important it's in good nick.
Right, there's the inlet valve.
Yeah.
That's normal, the piston doesn't come up that far, so that black mark is where the piston rings come up to, top dead centre.
Okay.
And this is the bore.
It's looking healthy.
It does. I mean, it's very difficult to discern wear and, ordinary wear and damage. This bore looks fairly healthy. Look, that's all. It's pretty good, that inlet valve.
Yeah. So it's literally blasting it clear.
Look, see, there's the other one. Oh, it's very it's a bit fiddly. That's the problem with it.
That's all right.
It's the exhaust. Yeah, it's all. It looks quite good. Yeah, can't believe it.
Result.
Look at that. Yeah.
Thank Christ alive. It's worth pointing out here I filmed one cylinder, but the guys at Wrightune did check all 6. Lastly, a leak down test, where air pressure is put into the cylinder via the spark plug hole. The cylinder must be tested in TDC, by the way. Significant leaks, that's above 20%, mean a poor engine condition.
You'd expect it to be about that. I mean, the amount of mileage it's done.
What is like something that would be of concern?
Warm, 15 to 20% and higher, wouldn't be very good. Cold, yeah, but not this. The engine's warmed up, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So basically, the you're at 10%, obviously you've got 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. Anything sort of past 20 warm, 15, 20 warm isn't great.
Yeah. Quality. Absolutely quality. Cool, Chris, we're done and dusted. It has a clean bill of health on Little Irish, which is fantastic, but lots learned, I think, today.
Yeah, I think so. So obviously we checked over what we could. We did the oil and filter, checked the filter out. Absolutely nothing in there. Fresh oil and filter, but obviously before that, we popped something inside the engine, had a look at the bores, had a look at that. That all looked good, and then carried out a cylinder leakage test to also another like tool in our armory of determining engine health.
Sure, yeah.
And all of it came back positive. Obviously, the ultimate thing would be to strip it into a million bits, but from what we can see at the moment, and also you're monitoring oil consumption, things like that, how the engine sounds, how it's behaving. So with all that, information, that's giving us a positive. It's giving us a positive, response from Little Irish.
Thank you. Yeah, God, thank you. Checking the oil and filter is something that is kind of step one, isn't it? To just check
it is.
The
and then
healthy
also,
engine.
I mean, sometimes our customers will specifically ask us, or like wherever you take your car to your like specialist or garage, just say, can you just cut the filter open? It's paper, and just have a good look at it, And also in the filter bowl itself, there shouldn't be any shiny bits of metal. Sometimes you'll see wear or some little slithers of metal due to wear, and sometimes possibly little bits of plastic or something. If something's breaking up inside the engine sealant, but it's uncommon really.
Yeah,
that we find.
Yeah.
And there should be some wear occurring. It's an engine, isn't it? Things going around next to each other, and things are wearing against each other. But for your engine, 140,000 miles, we were quite surprised, I think, with the figures and results we got, weren't we?
I think so, yeah, considering, going back to what we said at the start of the video, you said earlier this year, you're going to need to rebuild that eventually, which obviously is true, nothing lasts forever, but it got me thinking, well, I think 140,000 miles now is considered high mileage for these engines, so it was a nice kind of barometer. So there's a couple of things I want to touch on. The first one is, by Porsche's own admission, like acceptable loss of oil is 1 litre per 1,000. Is it miles or kilometres? I can't remember. But I mean, that is.
I think it's 1,000 kilometres, which is 600 miles. So if you're using a litre in 600 miles, you've got a serious problem, and they can write whatever they want. But that's what you've got problem. Most likely scored bores. And you're consuming oil, it's burning it basically. Yeah,
but even like half that, surely you should be worried with half.
I wouldn't want to be using, some usage is acceptable. But he wants to be minimal.
I mean, this does, this does burn a little bit of oil, just a little bit.
Yeah, but you're not topping it up that much, and it's a tiny amount when you're putting it in, because you're being vigilant and checking your level. So, just...
Keep an eye on it, basically.
Keep an eye on it and monitor it. But anyone can do that if they, every time you get in the car before you start it up, it's cold, and if it's level, it's got to be level, and then check your oil level on the dash.
As we said, like it's regurgitating another top tip that we've said before on 9wax TV, to just change the oil every 5k. It's kind of what I do, and just keep an eye on any of that metallic detritus that's going to be in the filter or otherwise. With regards to scored bores, I think it's important to get across that, like, some bore scoring, that's not a disaster, right?
No, there might be wear in the cylinder. Might see some wear on a bore score inspection or bore scope inspection. So, you may see some wear there. Now there will be, but if it's not using a lot of oil, I wouldn't be too concerned. I mean, it's not nice to see big scores, but it's a bit difficult without actually getting in there and feeling. It might look on the camera like something bad, but it might be using no oil. However, similarly, you may get in there and it may visually look quite good, and it's using oil. It's a tool that can help us, but it's not as good as obviously getting the engine apart and physically measuring it and feeling it if there's any scores and what the tolerances are in there.
Yeah. Okay. Grand. I think that's it really. The other thing that Joe commented on, which I thought was interesting, is you know, we joke that the car is kind of used as intended, but actually that might have played into its hands in terms of longevity.
Yeah, you've been using it as intended. Yeah, you've enthusiastic driving. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd encourage that because
probably, yeah. I think, yeah. Sometimes poodling around is not the best. I mean, it's very clean and tidy from what we can see inside the engine. Don't get in it cold and thrash it up the road. That's going to be like the worst thing you can do. But yeah, we shouldn't be afraid to use it as intended once everything's up to operating temperature.
Yeah, okay, well on that note then, it's good to sign off. I'll repeat my kind of 3 rules, and I've said this on 996 buyer's guides previously. One here actually, where the car was on the ramp. Maybe Chris, if you've got anything to add to these, then feel free to chip in. So in terms of your engine health, with particular reference to higher mileage like this, but it does of course include all M96 and M97 engines, I just say, look, 3 golden rules. Number 1, don't do journeys of less than 20 minutes. Allow the car to go for a proper heat cycle. Number 2, short shift at 3,000 RPM until you're up to temperature. And number 3 is to change that oil every 5k and check the filter.
And use quality oil, but if you're watching this, you're probably already going to be doing that because you're concerned about the health of your engine. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Grand. All right, Chris, thanks for your expertise and Joe's expertise, as always, here at Wrightune. You know where to come if you need any advice for M96 and M97 related stuff or air-cooled stuff. I mean, there's all sorts going on here today. So
yeah, it's been a busy one.
Cracking. Right, thanks for watching this video on 9wax TV. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.